What's up, YouTube? So in today's video, I'm going to be making some custom maple shelves. I just picked up all the lumber. I've got 4/4 maple here for the shelves, and then some 8/4 maple for the shelf support. I'll show you the design so you guys can see what it's going to be, but it's going to be pretty sweet. So here's the sketch that I drew after discussing the client's vision. Originally, these ladder style supports were going to be paint grade. We have now changed that to be maple along with the shelves. So I'm going to get started here by milling up the material for the supports. And then I've got all my shelving material here. I'm also going to be building a couple floating shelves out of this for the same client, which I will do a separate video on. So here I am starting the milling process on the jointer. I then run it through the table saw and the planer to get all the parts the same. If you don't have these tools, that's fine. You can buy all your pieces already dimensioned. I just finished up milling all the supports. Got them milled down to 1.5 inches, both directions. All these shorter ones are going to get cut up into about a foot length, and these will be my horizontal supports. These are going to be my vertical supports. I only had enough to make 5 out of this, and I need 6. So I've got 2 pieces of 4/4 gluing up over here, and then this will get milled down to match these. I just milled the final one that I glued up. Now I'm going to chop these to final size, as well as the horizontal supports. And then I'm going to lay these out for all my dominoes. So all the parts are now cut to final size. I am on to laying out for my dominoes. I'm using a straight edge to mark across all the boards at once. This will be my reference line for the bottom of the horizontals. So when mortising my uprights, I made a couple mistakes here. So I originally had marked where the bottom of my horizontal pieces are going to go, but then I needed another line to reference the domino. So I drew this one 3/8 up from this one. And that worked fine until I made a few mistakes and accidentally referenced off the bottom of this. And I did it 4 times. So I've glued in some dominoes into the mistake slots, and I will flush cut those and then re-domino at the right height. And that won't be an issue because obviously the domino is going to go in here, and then these uprights will, cover that up. Okay, I just finished plugging these, and then coming back, flushing them out with the pole saw and a chisel, and then sanded them nice and flush. Now I'm going to remark my reference lines for these 2 rows and this guy, and then plunge all these mortises. My supports are now glued up. Everything worked well with the glue up. I'm going to do a quick sanding with these before I apply the finish. I am now going to be moving on to milling up my shelves. Now this is 5/4 maple that I'm going to be using, and I am going to run it through my planer, and I will rip a straight edge with my track saw. I got all of these ripped to size and then planed. I had to make quite a bit of room in my shop here to get these boards to go through the planer. Have about 10 feet of clearance on both sides for these boards. It's also very cold in my shop, so I was getting some issues with the rollers. You can see it right there. I was getting some marks and feeding issues with it, but I will be sanding these, so I'm not too worried about that. So I made a jig out of 1/2 inch plywood to be able to round over these corners. So everything's all sanded to 220 grit. I put a few coats of a general finish water-based polyurethane on all these shelves, top and bottom, as well as the supports. So these shelves are now ready to be packed up and installed on site. So here is the wall that I'm going to be installing the shelves. I start by putting some tape on the walls so that I can mark my stud layout, figure out where I want all my supports. I use the laser level to establish a plumb line. I'm screwing these in. Where I'm placing the screws, the shelves will cover all the screws. That way there's no visible fasteners. As you can see, I set up the laser so that where the bottom shelf sits is level all the way across the 3 supports. So I brought in the shelves and just set them on the brackets, and now I'm doing some math to figure out what the measurement is for the overhang so that it matches on both sides. As you can see, I've got my level line set up on the right side of all those shelves. I'm now marking for my lamello. The lamello joiner is pretty sweet. It's basically a biscuit joiner, but it cuts this groove in the back of the slot, allowing you to use a lot of different sort of connectors with that. Here's the tenso connector. This is the male end, and then the female end goes into the shelf. And then it snaps right in place. So here's the finished result. I think it turned out really good. There are 0 visible fasteners using the domino to connect the support brackets, and then the lamello to connect the shelves to the brackets. But yeah, please like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Have a good day.